Hey guys, thanks again for taking this course, and I hope it's really inspired you and encouraged you of what's possible and how you can work with the booking agent, because they're such an important part of your team. And I want to share this success story that I have about touring Japan and how I connected with a booking agent to book me 2 shows, one in Tokyo and one in Osaka. And I'll just tell you the whole story and how it all happened. And basically, I was selling a ton of records in Japan. I was selling thousands of records in Japan. What happened was we imported 10,000, those sold in the first week, then we sold another 10,000, and then another 10,000. And I was actually feeling pressure from the record label I was with, because I was in a licensing deal, and they were trying to get me to sign a full deal. And part of the deal that they put in front of me was like, well, we'll pay you to go to Japan as well. We'll pay for you guys to tour Japan. And it was kind of like, yeah, you get to go to Japan. And you know, what artist doesn't want to go to Japan and tour? It was like a dream come true, right? And something just didn't feel right about the deal they were trying to present in me. I felt like they were just trying to do a money grab or something like that. And so I'm just thinking to myself and not really sure what to do. And honestly, I was in church, and all of a sudden I had this idea. And right after church, me and my wife blitzed out of there. I went home and I started Googling agents that handle the Japanese market, and I started to look for agents that handled Asia, and I looked at these agents' websites, and I saw that some handled acts in Canada, some handled some in Europe, some handled them in the US, and then some handled artists in Asia. And I looked and I went down the website, and I found agents that worked primarily in Asia. So that included Japan. And so what I did was I just started emailing these guys, and I drafted up an email. I just said, I think in the subject, I was just like, I put my band name, I put Manifest, and I put selling records in Japan, I put selling tens of thousands of records in Japan. And then I just emailed them, and I said, hey man, my name's Chris Green with AK Manifest, and I'm selling a ton of records in Japan right now. I've got this and this going on. Here's a link to one of my YouTube videos and some of my music. Do you think we could set up a tour? Do you think we could get something going on in one of these markets? And I emailed, I think, like 3 or 4 agents, and by the next day I had a response from one of the agents, and he was like, yeah, sure man, let me look into this. Who's your contact at the label there? And so I put them in contact with the label, and he emailed me back, and I think we had a phone call or something like that, and he contacted some of the talent buyers in Japan, and I think it was within 2 weeks we had a tour set up, an all paid tour to fly me, my drummer, my guitarist, and also my break dancer, paid really well, plus covered all of our flights, and I had a tour booked to play a show in Osaka and Tokyo, and it changed my life. You can see some of the footage of it on my YouTube page. Just go to youtube.com/manifestvideos, and you'll see the Japan tour there. That's one of the many tours we've done, because I've gone there like 4 or 5 times now, but it was awesome. And it was just by reaching out, and what I want you to take away from that is, obviously there needed to be a reason for me to reach out to this agent, and one of the big reasons was there's a demand. I was selling records. I had something going on. And now with Spotify and YouTube and some of the demographics and the information we can pull to see where you're getting played, you can use that to say, hey, that's where we should go play, because we're getting a ton of play there. Maybe you want to work that market even more and go tour there for a reason, because obviously something's connecting there. Maybe something's connecting for you in Dallas. Maybe something's connecting for you in London, England, or maybe in California, or maybe Vancouver, British Columbia. Something's percolating there, so you need to put your focus on there and go there and tour. But that's kind of my Japan story came together, and now I have an agent there that works and brings us there. And my success isn't as big as it used to be, but we still have records that release there every year. I haven't gone there in I think about 2 years, and I think we're planning to go there next year, which will be really awesome. And so it built this market, and you don't know unless you try. Like, I could have been dead, like, oh, this is stupid. Why am I emailing these guys? Are they really going to respond? Yes, they will. You have no idea until you step out and you go for it. You know, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is to act despite the fear. And so I want to encourage you to take courage and step out and try things. Who cares if you fail? Who cares if you get rejections? Step out anyways, and you too can have a tour in some crazy country like Japan as well, and get paid for it and not get taken advantage of from the record labels. So hey, I believe in you guys as always. Leave a comment question. Let me know what you think about this. If you have any questions, I always want to help you. And thanks again for taking this course.